So, I mean, how does a performance like tonight make you feel?
Yeah, that's two really good performances the last three games. He had a little dip there, which happens, little post All-Star dip. I felt like what they say, I used the Clyde one, sliced and diced. Like he was just making the right reads. It was a passing too. He's getting back to getting in the lane. Making great passes. Just controlled the game with his speed. And they had Bridges on him, who's a really tough cover. They were being really physical with him. And I love how we fought through the physicality because that was a playoff performance, a elite playoff performance by Darius.
I mean, you guys were down 23, and obviously you went for this one. So I guess, were you always planning to play your guys?
Yeah, I mean, in the only scenario where we wouldn't if we were down 23 in the fourth, and then maybe decide, hey, this game's too far gone. But, and I got on him I think in the first quarter or beginning of the second. I said, if we don't want to be here, we'll play the young guys. Like if we're not going to compete, we're not going to play, which is fine. But tell me, I want you guys to tell me, and I walked away. Tell me if you want to play. I came back and they said they wanted to play. And then they turned it up. Just took us a while to get our compete level where it needed to be.
And then do you plan on playing the younger guys on Sunday?
We'll see. I mean, I think so. I got to talk with the staff, and there might be some guys that want to play just to keep their rhythm, and I respect that. It's a player-led, league. We'll listen to them, and we'll give our feedback. We'll come to the decision.
Kenny, with the season behind you now, is there anything that you've learned about your team now that you really didn't know coming into the show?
Yeah, Sean, I think we're grittier than I thought we were in the beginning, and I think it's kind of the rhetoric that we're skilled and move the ball and play really good offense. But I think even tonight we showed that we got a toughness about us, and that's where I've turned with this team. You don't get 64 wins without being tough and showing our grit. Loved how we did that tonight too.
Do you venture to guess what this team might be able to produce once the postseason starts?
I mean, our talent level is there, Sean, right? Our talent level. I just, the question that needs to be answered with this team is if they have the belief level at a championship, championship level, if that makes sense, right? Like do you really believe you can beat Boston? Do you really believe you can beat Indiana? Do you really believe you can be a conference finalist? That's the first step. And that's the only answer. We're only going to answer that when we're faced with it. But that's probably the lingering question. But as far as talent, chemistry, deep bench, we got it all. So it's really going to be the mental battle, and I think believing at that next level.
Let's go.
Thanks, Scott.
How do you try to take all of this success that you bottled up in the season and carry it over when, as you pointed out earlier before the game, everything goes 0-0 at that point?
Yeah, and I think that was part of playing our guys tonight. Like I don't want to lose that edge, and I was with that Atlanta team when the Cavs beat us, that really good Atlanta team, and we kind of shut our guys down at the end of the year and wanted to rest guys and I was a part of it. I agreed with it. Let's rest. Let's get ready for playoffs. We're the first seed. We got a big lead, and I felt like we lost our edge a little bit. So that was, again, that was the thinking with tonight, man. Can we go into Madison Square Garden? Tibbs is going to play his guys. Can we come here and get a win? So I feel good. I feel really good where we are, and we're, Don's going to be healthy. He's healthy right now. Worked out today, so that was a big goal of ours to come into this playoffs healthy.
Coach,
Yeah.
Maybe a self-indulgent question, but you had 4 timeouts left with about 4:41 to go, and then you called one in between Mitchell Robinson's free throws. Was there any part of you that was like, I have so many left, I'm going to ice this guy?
I stole that one from Steve Kerr. That's the timeout between. There was some thought of that, but it was more our guys were exhausted.
Got you.
So not so much Mitchell, but I did pick that up from Steve. He was really good at that, and yeah, it's a strategy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else, Nora? Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it was that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you for the time.
All right.
I think